Daniel, this is Michael, Tranquility.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, I'm awesome. How are you?
No problem. I'm just grabbing my phone so we can talk better. Okay?
Sure, perfect, yeah.
Hi. Can you hear me fine?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay. I'm gonna record this interview so
Perfect.
I can transcribe it later, and also we will air it on Metamilicha Web Radio. Well,
All right, cool.
let's start. You are coming back to Brazil to two shows, São Paulo and Limeira, in the beginning of September. How do you feel coming back to our country?
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. We've been dying to come back. It's been a while. Was it almost 3 years? And we had a blast last time. And so it's going to be cool. Like tons of new stuff, new sets, some new members, and a brand new show. So I couldn't be more excited. I think it's going to be just amazing.
You've been here twice. What did
Yeah.
you like the most in our country? And is there something that you didn't like?
Oh, what I loved most, I think, what I remember most is just the kind of the reception of the audience, just being greeted and being so welcomed into into a new country like that. You know, where we haven't been enough. Um, the kind of the passion of the audience, I think, is something that really sticks out. And of course, just a lot of people that I met, a lot of people we got to know, and plus the amazing food that I remember really well. Um, but in terms of what I don't like, I don't know, um, nothing that comes to mind. I think that the only issue we sometimes have, especially doing tours in South and Latin America, are the amount of travel you do in a short amount of time. So you don't really have time to fully kind of appreciate the country you're in or the cities you're in, and sometimes you just don't have time to actually to see things that you would rather do. But hopefully this time around we have a little bit more time in our schedule so that we get to see more. But who knows? But I'm hoping that we get to kind of visit a little bit more and not just arrive, do a show, and then leave for the next show. That kind of. Ivers. Ivers. Yes. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's been amazing. First, we were teenagers basically, and I'd always been playing in other bands and other kind of projects. So when we found ourselves without a bass player, we kind of asked him, and he was really busy, and we were like, oh, well, if you have time, maybe you can do a couple of shows with us. And then so we started doing that like 2 years ago, and then that felt great, and we did a tour, and then that felt awesome, and we asked him, like, do you want to kind of join more on a full-time basis, and he agreed. So that feels fantastic. Like he's the greatest guy in the world, and an amazing musician. So it works out really well. And also, he's been touring South America with Tiamat before, but there are many places where they didn't go. So it's fun to go to places where I've been 100 times, but bring an old friend, to kind of live somehow vicariously through him and kind of discover old places with new eyes, so to speak.
And two new songs in 2017. How have you seen the reception to Atama?
Well, it's been incredible, actually. We were so into the process of writing that album that we didn't really know what we were doing by the end. We were just trying to finish something that took a long time to complete, and it was really hard to kind of gauge if this is good or bad. We love it, but what are people going to think? And once the album came out, the first couple of singles and videos and stuff like that, really got into it, and it's been amazing. Just playing these new songs on tour has been really, really fulfilling and awesome, and they sound great, and people seem to appreciate these new songs a lot in the sets. So I mean, I couldn't be happier with it. It has sold really well too, which is fun. Which is fun. So it's something that we're proud of. Well,
You have been playing Atoma, Clearing Skies, Encircled, Force of Hand, Forward Momentum.
spoilers, come on. Yeah,
Are you
yeah, and we're going to play. I play some more actually. I think we're going to start rehearsing this week to play some more of the new songs and see which ones work. So we're going to change things up a little bit just to.
and a chance that you
Um,
play something that you have never played live when you come to South America?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it will be. It's gonna because it's the beginning of the tour. So this is the beginning of a 4 hours. Good. We're gonna be, some-
Okay. And what are the plans for the near future after the South? And you are gonna go to United States too for a North American tour. What are the plans after
Yeah.
that?
Well, then we're going to take some time off, I think, for winter, and then we're going to start touring here in Europe again in early next year. It's going to be like a tour in Asia, I think, Australia, and all that stuff. And then hopefully, if we kind of book another tour, then we'll start thinking about new material and that kind of thing. So, but it's going to be a lot more touring. It feels like we only have started. So there's still a lot of more touring to do in this album, and so we try to kind of focus on that. And then once we kind of wind that down, then we start realizing, oh, right, let's get creative again.
Okay. And everybody in the world, especially in the music industry, in the music news, the people who works with music, everybody's talked lastly about the Chester Bennington suicide, and we have also been talking about the Blue Whale game and the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. But we have also talked about depression and the dangers of depression when I believe when Robin Williams took his own life. Do you think that a word like we have today is making people think that this is an act that is an easy way out of problems, or do you think that people are starting to help each other more and pay more attention to each other's feelings? What do you think about this subject?
Wow, it's a little bit of both. Obviously, I mean, it seems like we are talking about it more now than we had before. There's like a better awareness of actually like just say you go through, you know, just talking about it truly. I think the order in there's kind of so much pressure on your shoulders. You know, there's so much that you want to do and want to be, and there's so easy to kind of just look at what everyone else is doing and then feeling like, oh, you're not doing enough, or you feel insignificant, you feel pointless, or whatever. It's really easy with what social media is. Well, that can be that whatever they feel, you know, not able to do enough, you know. So that's one thing, and I think the other thing is for musicians, you know, especially someone in the spotlight and someone on some front center stage. it's really easy to get all that attention, and get all that praise, and then you wake up the next morning and you're the same old guy again, and those those kind of highs and lows that you go through, that if you're not well equipped to deal with that can really, really, really harm you, and really get you down. And it's something that I've found the last couple of years by touring. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in that euphoria of a show and all the attention and all the frustration and kind of excitement that you get from being on stage, and then when you wake up the next morning, none of that is there, and you really, really, it's really hard to kind of come down from those highs, And I think it's that can really get you if you have like a tendency to get depressed or get down. So I think that's part of the reason why there are two sides when it comes to like this creative profession,
I understand.
But I think, the more we talk about it, the more somebody gets brought up to with it. But it's really
Okay. There's a question I always ask for all my interviewees.
stay out, and that's the type board, and that's when.
Hello? Hi? I think I lost you for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we are back again.
Yeah.
There's a question another subject. There's a question I always ask to all my interviewers. Once we are in Brazil, I would like to know is there any Brazilian artist or band that you like, that you listen at your home, or even that have had any influence over your sound?
Well, there's an obvious one, of course. I mean, we grew up watching Headbangers Ball here on MTV, and the first time I ever heard Sepultura was through Vanessa Warwick introducing them on Headbangers Ball, and it blew our minds away. We that intense country, we at least did with Flash was amazing, and it really opened up our ears to all kinds of stuff, and then I got into more underground Brazilian bands, like Apollo and bands like that, and it was just amazing, and it really, I think it really inspired us as well, because we're from a tiny little, still, for the music export. Do the maybe encourage inspire people and that was really, really incredible for us, and so one of the biggest inspirations at the time when we started the band was
Yeah. And yourselves were influential to a whole scene, what we call the new wave of Swedish death metal, or even the Gothenburg scene. How do you feel about that? And what bands from Sweden you think that you have influenced yourselves and are quite famous in your country, but maybe we here in Brazil and other countries, we don't know them yet?
I don't know. Okay. At least I really lost it. He left me. He went amazing. It's incredible, and it's really a testament to us kind of sticking to our beliefs. That death metal music could be more than just the most brutal horror themed thing. Could be more. And but in terms of anyone can the names, including when yeah, you're up against a lot of that develop their own style, eventually. They started out maybe as a band that really wanted, tried hard to sound like the melodic death metal bands of the city, but now are totally different. So a band like Avatar, for instance, they have a totally different style now, but they kind of started out that way. And they're amazing, finally they have their own thing, and it's proven very successful for them. And then there are tons of bands who kind of moved here from other cities just to be part of the musical scene, because it's a pretty cool metal scene here, And so bands like Monolord or bands like Blind Blood are incredible and are part of like this musical DNA of the city where anything is kind of possible and everything is okay and you can play whatever you want and there's no judgment. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of the bands from the city were successful was that there was no competition. It was only kind of encouragement among bands, and it's still the same way. And that's why I really love how the scene is progressing here.
And let's make a challenge. I'm gonna make a challenge for you. Please bring these bands that you have just talked about. Bring them with you in a tour. Let's say in 2019 or 2018, if you wish.
So we're like we bring some of our favorite bands from around here onto those shows and just introduce them to our crowd and that kind of stuff. And I love when we are able to do that. And the same goes for the European tours. We recently toured in Europe with a band called Ancient Stooges, which is one of my favorite death metal bands, and no one had heard of them, but I really love them and I know those guys, and it turned out to be they're incredibly successful for them. They sold albums like crazy, and now they have a really big following thanks to that tour, and so that's really, really something that I love doing, whenever we have the chance.
Okay. We are reaching the end of the interview. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Hey, you too, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. And let's end with a message to all your Brazilian friends. Please feel free to say whatever you want to all the Brazilians who admire your work, especially to those who are going to watch you, who are going to go to your gigs in São Paulo and Limeira.
Well, it's an honor in terms we have never been on tour. You want most famous on this tour, and they're both incredible guitar players. So just to be able to share the stage with them in front of a crowd they haven't seen, it's something that I really, really look forward to, and I can't wait to see everyone again. And it's going to be we're going to have a blast. So come out and drink beer and have a good night with us.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Sure.
See you in
Cheers.
São Paulo.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.